Hey guys, welcome back to this lesson of law of attraction again and this is the number 5 lesson on law of attraction. It's about thought frequency control. Thought frequency control. Now before I get into this lesson, one very important message. I hope you've gone through the previous videos. If you have not, please make sure you go through the previous videos and then come back to this one, because it's extremely important that to be a master, you go step by step by step. Okay? So that's one very important message. The second message. Are you doing your law of attraction every day? Are you doing your manifestation every day, morning and night? Are you or are you not? Because if you're not, then law of attraction is not going to work, okay? See, there are a lot of people in the world who are simply knowledge gatherers, okay? Don't be that person. Don't keep gathering knowledge through these videos. Be an implementer, be a practitioner, because this workshop, this law of attraction training program is all about mastery. And if you want to master it, you have to practice it, okay? So that's why I'm asking you. Have you been practicing law of attraction every morning, every evening? What do I mean by that? Every morning when you wake up, before you get out of the bed, are you manifesting your life? Are you attracting what you want consciously by doing your visualization exercise? Or if you're not comfortable with visualization, are you doing your reading of your affirmations of what you want to attract in your life? Now, lesson 2 was all about clarity. If you've gone through that lesson on clarity, then you should have been able to make your affirmations already. If not, please go back to that lesson, make your affirmations, and based on that, either create your visualization every morning or read your affirmations every day, morning before you get out of bed, and at night, last thing before you sleep. So that's what my question is to you once again. Are you doing your manifestation every single day? Because if you're not consciously controlling your frequency, then you're not going to be happy about everything that gets attracted to you on its own. And remember, it's not about does law of attraction work. It's a science. It works all the time. How does law of attraction work? Simple. Everything around us is energy, right? And we are made of energy. Our feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions are made of energy. So at any point of time in life, including now, there is something you are feeling, right? I mean, maybe you're feeling bored, but there is something you're feeling in life right now, all the time. You're thinking something, you're believing something, you're acting something, which means you're taking some action. Even sitting and watching this video is a simple action, right? So any FTBA that you're going through in life, as far as you're alive, you are feeling, thinking, believing, and acting. And thus, you're generating a frequency inside you. Because all energy has frequency, remember? So because your feelings, thoughts, and beliefs and actions are generating a frequency inside of you all the time, there is something you are attracting around you all the time. Because everything is made of energy. And every energy has its own frequency. So whatever you are vibrating at as a frequency, you attract it towards you, because the basic law of attraction is what? Like attracts like, which means frequency with the same energy attracts each other, right? We've gone through enough videos on the basic law of attraction video you've gone through. Then you've gone through the lesson 2 on clarity, then the lesson 3 on lifestyle of law of attraction. Then we've gone through the lesson 4 on feelings. I've made 4 different videos, 4 or 5 different videos on how do you control your feelings. If you've not been able to get enough control on your feelings, it's only this reason. Remember this reason, guys. It's not that techniques don't work. We don't use the techniques properly. Always remember that. It's not that techniques don't work. We don't use the techniques properly. I'll tell you why. These techniques are not like medicines that it does work on some people and doesn't work on some people. No, they're not like medicines. They're scientific tools. It's simple as this. If you're not using the tool properly, it's not the mistake of the tool. The tool works. It's a scientific tool. It works the same with everybody in the world. All you have to do is what? Use it properly. So if you're not being able to use it properly, all you have to do is ask questions on the Facebook group, put comments on that lesson page, and we'll respond back to you. People on the community in the Facebook group will help you out with that. But please use those videos, the 4 or 5 videos that I've made on feelings, use them to take control of your feelings, okay? Now, most of your feelings are generated by your thoughts. Not most, all your feelings are generated by your thoughts. Because without a thought, there cannot be a feeling. So this video is all about how do you control your thoughts? How do you control what's going on between the small part of your head, and these thoughts are always generating a certain frequency inside you. If you actually take an EEG machine and put it to your brain, like an ECG for the heart, there's an EEG for the mind or the brain. If you put it to your brain and you look on the screen, you'll see the screen's going through a certain frequency. You'll see the screen giving you feedback. Now that is nothing but the frequency of your thoughts. If a person is dead, that means the person is not thinking anymore. So the EEG machine shows a flat line. You must have seen it in movies, right? So the flat line means that there are no thoughts going on. This means that there is some thoughts going on because it has a frequency, okay? So you need to start learning how to control your thought frequency so that you can control what you're attracting in your life. Because everything works on the principle of energy. Like attracts like. Energy with the same frequency attracts each other. There are two basic energies in the world: positive energy and what else? Of course, positive energy and negative energy. So there are positive thought frequencies and there are negative thought frequencies. Around you all the time, remember, there is always all kind of frequencies around you all the time. If you walk on the road, there are positive people in the world. There are negative people in the world. There are positive situations. There are negative situations. There are opportunities and there are problems out there in the world. At any point of time, the world is full of positive frequency and full of negative frequency. What you will attract to you will depend on what's your current frequency. Current frequency, not what frequency you had yesterday or you will have tomorrow, but what's your frequency now, right? So if you're thinking negative right now, you're going to attract negativity no matter what. And if you're going to attract, if you're feeling or if you're thinking positive, you're going to attract positivity towards you no matter what. From somewhere, this frequency, like a magnet, it'll actually get attracted to you. Okay? So how do you change your thought frequency? Let's get to that. Before I tell you about how do you really change your thought frequency, I want to show you a quick demonstration on the video over here. So what I have here is a matchbox. It's a matchbox, okay? So this is a matchstick. I have the matchbox here. I'm going to take this other matchstick in my hands and watch what happens now. Now watch what happens. This matchstick is already on fire. The moment I touch the other matchstick, it's natural. What do you think is going to happen? You see? It got lit, right? Now, I take this matchstick. It's already on fire, right? And I have water here. What happened? What happened? Guys, this is a very simple demonstration of life. When you take one matchstick, which is already on fire, and you touch the other matchstick, it's going to burn. It's going to be on fire, right? But if I take another matchstick which is burning and I put it inside water, the fire disappears. Why is that? Think about it for a minute. Why is that? Well, simple reason. Because this matchstick got burnt for a simple reason that it is already made of gunpowder. Simple science. I'm not going to talk about philosophy here. Simple science. This is made of gunpowder, right? So when fire comes close to the gunpowder, it's going to take on fire, right? But this glass has water. When I put fire inside it, it's not going to get burnt. It's just going to go evaporate because water takes care of fire. But question is, did the water burn away? No, it did not. The water is still there. Now, why am I telling you about this silly, simple example here? Here is why. Our thoughts inside our brain are of two types. Either they are like fire or they are like water. What is the difference? Fire means that inside you there is negative frequency fire all the time. Okay? And the matchstick that I showed you, which burns that fire, is all the triggers around you all the time. You remember that in the last video of feelings, we spoke about triggers and emotional negative habits or emotional positive habits. Similarly, we have thinking habits, right? So all people around you, imagine those people are like this matchstick, okay? And imagine that sometimes they are on fire and they come close to you. Now, if you inside you, in your mind, in your heart, if you're full of negative thoughts, a small matchstick can come close to you and boom, what happens? A lot of negative thoughts going on inside you, right? But if you are like water, if you are like water inside you, your thoughts are like water, and a matchstick comes close to you, which means a person comes close to you with fire and goes inside, what happens? You absorb all the fire, but you transform it. You're able to still be water and you're able to wipe out the fire, right? So all our thoughts can be looked at into these two ways. Either you are fire inside you or you are water inside you. Now, anything in the world has a foundation, right? So fire has a certain foundation, water has a certain foundation. What is the foundation of fire? The basic foundation of fire kind of thoughts or fire kind of a person is, I am not responsible for what I am feeling. Others are responsible for what I am feeling. I'll repeat, I am not responsible for what I am feeling. Others are responsible for what I am feeling. So if someone comes and burns me, fire believes that inside me, I'm not responsible for whatever that fire is going on inside me. Who's responsible? It's the other person who came and burnt me. That person is responsible. So the person who's always thinking like fire inside them, If they want to not burn inside them, if they don't want to feel the negativity inside them, what do they have to do? They have to change the matchstick, which means they have to change people around them all the time. So fire believes for me to change the way I'm feeling now, I have to change situations. I have to change the people around me. Now, please understand, you cannot change people around you. You cannot change the world around you, right? But that's what the fire believes. The fire believes I'm not responsible for the way I feel. Others are responsible for the way I feel. But the person who's like water, what does he believe? The person who's like water believes I am responsible for the way I think and for the way I feel. People around me, situations around me are not responsible for what I'm feeling right now, for what I'm thinking right now. I am responsible for my thoughts. I am responsible for my feelings. Let's take an example here. Let's say your boss comes and gives you negative feedback. Okay, boss comes and gives you negative feedback. Now, if you are someone who's basically a negative person inside you, which means you're used to being like fire inside you. This small negative feedback coming close to you, zoop, it's going to light you on fire. What does that mean? You're going to start having negative thoughts. Example, you may start thinking that your boss is purposely trying to criticize you because your boss is more biased towards somebody else in the team. So he's trying to put you down so that he can give someone else a better appraisal. This is a negative thought, right? But why did you have this negative thought? Because inside you, you're full of these thoughts already. These situations, these people are simply going to trigger those thoughts inside you and you're going to burn, right? The disadvantage of being a fire is that, yes, situations can, first of all, that's the first disadvantage, that situations or people can simply come and burn you. The second is you're going to feel the burning sensation all the time. And isn't that how you feel when you're negative? You feel like a burning sensation inside you all the time. Third, most importantly, you're going to attract a lot of such situations, a lot of such people who's going to burn you more because you're vibrating at the frequency of being burning inside, of that negative frequency. So you're going to attract more negativity towards you. Something as simple as you're driving on the road and you're going to have an accident. And if you have an accident, cancel. But if you get that accident, what happens? If you've got fire inside you, you get out of your car or you stop your bike and you start fighting. Why? Because that's the kind of person you are inside you. You're like fire. You're just waiting for situations to trigger you, right? But if you're like water, the basic premise, the basic foundation of water is what? Water believes I am responsible for the way I think and I feel. I'm completely responsible for everything I feel. I'm completely responsible for everything I think. So water kind of a person takes control over one's own thoughts and it does not blame other people or other situations for what's going on inside here. Because if you're in the position of blaming like fire, you cannot change. Why can't you change? Simple. Because you believe in the fire situation that who has to change the way you feel? Come on, think about it. If you're fire and if you believe that you're not responsible for the way you feel and others are responsible, then who has to help you feel, change the way you feel? Others have to change. For an example, you want your boss to be nice to you for you to feel good. You want your boss to give you appreciation for you to feel positive. You want the people on the road to drive properly for you to not feel irritated, for you to feel peaceful on the road and driving with pleasure. You need the world around you to change, to help you change. That's the fire kind of a person, negative personality. The positive personality, the positive thoughts is all about being responsible for your thoughts and feelings. So if the boss gives me criticism now, who's responsible for the way I'm feeling right now? I am. Who's responsible for my thoughts right now? I am. So do I need to change my boss? No, I don't. I don't need to change my boss. So who do I need to change? Simple. When it comes to the water personality, water is extremely flexible. So the first advantage of water being a water kind of a personality is the first advantage is you take responsibility for your feelings and thoughts. And because you take responsibility for your feelings and thoughts, the first advantage you get is fire can never touch you, which means negative thoughts, negative people can never touch you because you don't need to change them to change the way you feel. You are independent now of all that fire. So fire can never touch you anymore. Second, every time fire comes to you, not only does it not affect you, you get stronger every time because when fire is evaporated, it doesn't affect you and it gives you confidence that, see, it couldn't touch me. So every time you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. You've ever seen water in a lake or in an area where there's a lot of rocks, right? You'll observe that if water wants to pass through the rock and there's no space, the water finds a way to go through the rock or above the rock. And if it goes long enough through the rocks, it can actually create holes in the rock, right? So water is so powerful that it is flexible enough to change its course, change its direction, or go through the rock sometimes to get what it wants. So water is the most powerful entity in the world. That is why 70% of Earth is about water. 70% of our body is made of water, right? So what is more important here? Is it important to stay like fire, or is it important to stay like water? It's a no-brainer question. It's a very obvious question. The answer is obvious. You want to be like water. Why? Because magicians are like water. Law of attraction practitioners, masters, are like water. Because we believe that I'm responsible for the way I am feeling and what I'm thinking right now. Now, I know I've spoken about this earlier, but for this entire week, I want you to measure yourself every single day. What's the level of responsibility I am taking right now? Am I behaving like fire, or am I behaving like water? On a level of 1 to 10, 1 being lowest, 10 being highest, in the end of the day, ask yourself, in my entire day today, how much responsibility did I take for the way I feel in my thinking? Was I blaming more, or was I taking responsibility more? Are you higher on the fire side, or are you higher on the water side? Continue being water. The more you're being water, the more law of attraction becomes powerful for you. Why? Because when you take responsibility for your thoughts, now you can go to the second step. What is the second step? The second step in controlling thought frequency is you can start creating your own thoughts. That's right. People tell me all the time, Mitesh, I'm not able to change my thoughts. Well, you can't change your thoughts if you've not done the first step. What's the first step? Take responsibility for the way you're thinking. If you can't take responsibility, which means if you don't stop blaming people, if you don't stop blaming situations, and if you don't take responsibility for the way you're feeling and the way you're thinking, then you're not being a water personality. And when you're not a water personality, you won't get the advantages of being the water. If you're trying to be fire and getting advantages of water, technically not possible, scientifically not possible. You're being fire, you're going to get fire. You're being water, you'll get water. And the best part, when you're being water, you start attracting all the positive frequency towards you because you're vibrating at the frequency of water, which means thought frequency, which is more positive, right? So first step, take responsibility for the way you think. Your boss is not responsible, your wife is not responsible, your husband is not responsible, your friends are not responsible, your situations are not responsible, your success is not responsible, your failure is not responsible. Yes, not even your failure. Some people say, but Mitesh, if I fail, is it not natural to feel negative? Is it not natural to feel bad? Well, maybe natural for 5 minutes, but the whole day, it's definitely not natural to feel bad. It's definitely not natural to feel negative the whole day. So failure is not responsible for the way you feel. You don't need to change your failure into success to change your frequency now. You simply need to do the first step, which is what? Take responsibility for the way you're feeling and thinking right now. Now you can go to the second step, which is again what? Create your own thoughts. Create your own thoughts. Here's how you do that. Simple formula. S plus M equals E. Repeat that with me. S plus M equals E, which means situations plus meaning equals emotions. Now, what does that mean? Whenever a situation occurs in your life, so for an example, you're going on the road and somebody dashes your car, right? So that's a situation. When you give a meaning to that situation, it's called a thought. The difference in thought and meanings is that a meaning is a consciously created thought, whereas thoughts are meanings that you've created in the past, and like fire, you're using them all the time in your mind like a habit. So they're called thoughts because they're happening to you. But when I say meanings, it means you've consciously created those meanings right now. You're aware of them. You've taken responsibility for them. You've created those meanings. Okay? So situations plus meanings equals emotions. Only when there is a meaning attached to a situation can you feel something. Can you get an emotion in that area. Like I said, you on the road and someone dashes your car and you come out and let's say the automatic thought that comes to your mind is, because of this person, I have to now pay for insurance, or my car is getting destroyed because of the other person. Now, what kind of a thought is this? What kind of a meaning is this? This is a negative thought, which means, is it a blame kind of a thought, or is it a responsibility kind of a thought? It's a blame kind of a thought. So what happens? You are going to feel negative. You're going to think negative. And the more you think negative, the more you're going to take what kind of actions? Negative. So what's going to happen? Your entire frequency becomes negative. And you start attracting negativity at home or maybe in the office, which has nothing to do with this situation. But just because you allowed this situation to convert your thoughts into negative, now at office, your frequency starts attracting negativity. That's what really happens in law of attraction. So what do you do now? You become water, which means what? You start creating your own thoughts. So you, on the road again, someone dashes your car, you get out of the car and you choose your thoughts. You create a meaning of what does this situation mean to you. For an example, here's what it means to me. Someone dashes my car means simple. It happens. It's natural. I mean, people drive on the road all the time and people dash your car. It's okay. They would say, how is it okay? Listen, meanings are not right or wrong. Thoughts are not right or wrong. They're either positive or they're negative, right? So either you want fire kind of thoughts or you want water kind of thoughts. Either you want negative thoughts or you want positive thoughts. When I get out of the car and say, it's okay, हो जाता है कभी कभी, लग जाती है, उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? Now, this is a positive thought, like water. The question is it the right thought? Hey, it doesn't matter. What matters is it the frequency that I want? Let's say the thought is right, that the other person was responsible for your car being destroyed, okay? But is that thought going to help you create positive frequency to attract more positivity in your life? No. So what are you going to do with right thoughts if they don't serve you, right? It's important to get thoughts which serves you, which creates the frequency in your life to attract what you want in your life, right? So choose new thoughts. Choose new thoughts. And those thoughts have to be anything positive which serves you, which makes you feel positive in that moment. Because remember, your attractions don't depend on what you were feeling or thinking yesterday or tomorrow, but what you're thinking or feeling right now. So I get out of the car again and I say, it's okay, होता है, कभी-कभी लग जाती है, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं. It's really not a big deal. And I smile at the other person and say, it's all right, no big deal. You shake hands with the person and say, chal, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it, my insurance करवा लूँगा. You get inside your car and you start driving. Now here's a question. When you use these water kind of thoughts, which means they may not be right, but they're positive frequency thoughts, these meanings when you create, and when you now start driving, for how long do you keep thinking about this accident? Not very long, do you? You're on the way, you're probably listening to music and you're already done. That moment is gone. So what happened? That situation does not have any control over your negative frequency anymore because you've got positive frequency that you're carrying now. So you start attracting positive frequency over there. On the other hand, let's say you got out of the car and you got very angry because you believe that the other person is responsible for the car being destroyed and you're not okay with that and you're getting very angry about it. And you fought with that person. Chalo, ho gaya. You fought with the person, but now you got into the car. Eventually, office jana hai, ghar jana hai, right? So you got into your car and you start driving. Now, for how long do you remember this accident in your mind? Sometimes for hours, sometimes for months. For some people, it takes years. Every time they are driving on the road, they keep remembering this fear of someone dashing them. Accident happened only once, but you're reliving that frequency for so long in life. What happens because of that? You keep attracting negative frequency in your life. So all the bad luck that's happening in your life right now, it's not because of you doing probably something wrong in that area, but because in other areas of your life, you're constantly being a fire kind of a personality, which means you're generating thoughts which are all negative, which means that you're constantly blaming people and situations in your life for feeling and thinking the way you are thinking or for what you're feeling right now. Okay? So start converting all your thoughts, create new thoughts, which are positive thoughts. How do you do that? Like I said, situation plus meaning equals emotion. Ask yourself, what new meaning can I give to this situation right now to feel different? And make that thought right now. Now, one common question that I know I can predict people can ask me on this is, how do I create a new meaning? Guys, it's not how you create a new meaning. You just create a new meaning. Think, come on, use your brains. One of the reasons people don't know how to create new meanings is two reasons. First, because they keep blaming people all the time. So, like I said, first foundation is stop blaming people. Only then you can create new thoughts, right? But the second reason is because even though sometimes people take responsibility for the way they feel or think, the reason they're not able to create new thoughts because they've never practiced it, right? You're not used to thinking anymore. You've got these past thoughts in your life and you're just living the same thoughts again and again and again and again, right? So create new thoughts. Be an innovator. Be someone new every day in your life. You receive new situations, new people every day. Why not create new thoughts to respond to that, right? So either you can be reacting or you can be responding. Fire always reacts from past thoughts. Water always responds with new thoughts, which means thoughts that you create now, meanings which are positive, not negative. So ask yourself, today, as you're watching this video with me right now, since morning, have you already thought negative about somebody? I'm sure you must have. I think so, right? Most people do. Now, if you've already thought negative about that person, right now, take a minute with me and ask yourself, how is that helping you? I mean, yeah, that person probably definitely made a mistake. Let's agree to that. What I mean by that is I'm not denying. I'm not denying that the other person was a matchstick. I'm not even denying that the other person had this negative fire on the tip of that matchstick. I'm not denying that. But my question is this: when you also become a matchstick yourself, how's it helping you? When you have negative thoughts, even though those are right thoughts, how is it helping you? How is it helping your frequency attractions in the future? You're going to attract more negativity in your life because of that one incident or that one person. So it doesn't help you. So what do you do now? Right now with me, create a new meaning in your mind, create a new meaning in your head about what new thought can I create? How can you be an inventor right now? Create new thoughts to feel something positive about the same situation right now. Change your thoughts. Come on, right now. Change your thoughts. So, okay, let me give you an example right now. Okay, I wanted to make these videos, and since morning I was kind of postponing it. Okay, so in my mind, I've been thinking, why do I have to make these videos? Why do I have to make these videos? Why do I have to make these videos? So, what am I allowing myself? I'm allowing these past conditioned thoughts to control my feelings. So, I started using these new thoughts in my mind, which motivated me. Simple thoughts. Thoughts like, I'm excited to make these videos. 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 They would say, but Mitesh, I'm not excited. Hey, that's the point. You're using these thoughts to feel what you want to feel. That's the whole idea in law of attraction, right? So I started telling myself again and again, I'm excited to make these videos. I'm excited to make these videos. The more I repeated that in my mind, the easier it got for me to get that motivation to make the video right now. Okay? So I'm not going to blame situations around me that I didn't have the time, that I don't have the right environment, that I don't have the right situation, or that I'm not feeling right now to make these videos. No, I'm not going to blame my situations on my people or my environment around me all the time. I'm going to take responsibility for what I'm feeling right now. I'm going to create the thoughts that I require right now to feel what I want, to generate the frequency that I want, so that I can attract the life that I really want in life. All right? So come on, guys. This week is all about practicing these two simple steps. Step one, take responsibility for the way you feel. Be a water personality. Ask yourself all the time, am I being fire? Am I being water? Am I being fire? Am I being water? And make the right choice of being water, which means take responsibility for the way you're feeling and thinking right now. Water doesn't have to react at people. Water doesn't have to react at situations. Water can just be, because nothing can affect water, right? Two, now start creating new thoughts. Ask yourself, what new meaning can you create to feel something new in this moment right now? Ask yourself that question. There are two mistakes we make when we think about thoughts. Mistake number one, we always think in terms of what we don't want. Yes, we always think in terms of what we don't want. So for an example, you're standing in a line and you're thinking, oh God, this is going to take hours. This is going to take hours. Pata nahi kitna time lagega ye line ko clear hone mein. Now you're thinking negative, which means you're thinking in terms of what you don't want. Water personality always asks itself, I want something or I don't want something. I want something, right? All the time, I want something. The fire personality is always thinking about what it does not want. The water personality is always thinking about what it wants. So start thinking about what you want. For an example, you're standing at the line there. What do you want? You want the line to be cleared, right? So start thinking this. The line is clear. I'm already inside the theater. The line is cleared. I'm already inside the theater. You'll say, but Mitesh, isn't that weird? That's not true. The line is not cleared. I'm not already in the theater. Hey, what did I say? Law of attraction guys are magicians. We don't accept reality the way it is. We create our own reality. Don't react to the current reality of your life, because if you do, you'll keep attracting more of that. Create the reality here, right here in your mind. Use your creativity to think something new based on what you want. Ask yourself, what do I want? And create that thought and repeat that affirmation, repeat that statement again and again in your mind. Okay? The second mistake we make when we are thinking about thoughts is we always think in terms of future, of what you want in the future. We always say, I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. Stop saying I want and start saying I have. Stop saying I want, start saying I have. What do I mean by that? Even when you're standing in the line, one step is yes, you stop thinking about delays. You stop thinking about what you don't want, which is standing in the line for hours. You stop thinking about it. But you don't think about what you want in terms of I will be in the theater or I will clear the line in some time and go ahead fast. No, that's I want. Think in terms of the present, which means I already have. I already have, right? So I have cleared the line and I'm already in the theater. I have cleared the line and I'm already in the theater. Okay, let's take a couple of more examples here. Indu, can you help me with some more examples about where we can take situations like that? So for an example, we're kind of, okay, Indu's phone is ringing. Now, let's take this example, right? Indu's phone is ringing. Now, I can get completely negative about this, like a fire personality, and react saying, how can you allow this phone to ring when I'm doing this video recording? It's going to disturb my video recording. But I will only use that if I'm going to blame her for it. If I'm going to blame the phone situation, then it's going to be easy for me to react. But I'm going to be a water personality right now. What does that mean? Step one, I'm responsible for what I'm feeling, irrelevant of the phone ringing. I'm not going to allow that situation to interrupt my flow, what I'm thinking right now and doing this video recording with you right now. I'm not going to allow it to stop my creativity flow right now at all. But how do I do that? Well, the first thing, I don't blame it. I'm responsible for the way I'm feeling and thinking right now. That's the water personality. Step one, right? Step two, let me create a new thought now of how do I use this situation to continue doing my videos? Very simple. Interruptions are natural and I can continue doing my videos in spite of the interruptions. I repeat, interruptions are natural. I can continue doing what I'm doing irrelevant of the interruptions, right? But if I have another thought which says interruptions are not okay, interruptions are not okay, and every interruption is going to stop the way I think, and it's going to stop my creativity here, and it's going to make my video not perfect. Now, I'm not saying that's a wrong thought. Maybe it's a right thought, but it doesn't serve me. It's a fire kind of a thought. It makes me more angry. But when I say interruptions are normal, interruptions are natural, and interruptions can, irrelevant of the interruptions, I can still do a great video. This is a new thought that I made right now. So guys, be creative this week. This entire couple of weeks, the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to make another video. I'm going to keep sending messages on Facebook group only to motivate you to take practice on these 2 steps. Step one, take responsibility for the way you're feeling and thinking right now. Okay? Step two, create new thoughts in every moment. Thoughts which are positive, thoughts which serve you based on what you want, and say it like you already have it, based on what you want and like you already have it. Don't think in terms of what you don't want. Don't think in terms of future. Always think in terms of the present moment. Okay? So I hope this video serves you. Remember, this video is not about learning something out of the world. It's not about gathering new kind of knowledge. All right? Don't get excited about all that, because that's momentary excitement and it disappears, and then you're looking for new knowledge every time in the next video. It's not about that. This training program is all about mastery, and mastery requires practice. So this couple of weeks, don't try to gather new knowledge on law of attraction. Simply practice this. This is the most powerful practice of law of attraction, guys. I do this every single day of my life. So I repeat the 2 steps again. Step number one, say it with me, come on. See if you can remember. Step number one, take responsibility for what you're feeling and thinking right now. No more blame games. No more blaming people for what's happening in your life. No blaming situations for what's happening in your life. Even if it's true, even if it's right, you don't blame people in situations anymore, right? So step one, responsibility. Step two, creation. Be an inventor, be a creator. Create new thoughts in every moment to feel the way you want to feel, to think the way you want to think, and generate new positive frequency so that you can attract more positivity in your life. Okay? So take care, guys, and remember to share your results on Facebook. I want to share a quick result with you before I leave off. A great example. I was on the airport, Hyderabad airport, just 3 days ago, and I met one of our members of this workshop, of this law of attraction training program called Vasant Kale. He's part of a Facebook group. You can say hi to him over there. And Vasant met us and said that for many months, I think Vasant, what you said was about for 6 months, he was trying to sell his house in Hyderabad, and he wasn't able to sell his house. But now, after joining this law of attraction training programs, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he started using law of attraction. He came to Hyderabad believing and thinking like he's already got the deal. And like I said, there is always positive people out there. There are always negative people out there. There are always people waiting to buy your house, and there are always people waiting to just simply do time pass and come and see the house and not buy it. But this time, Vasant went with thoughts which are positive. This time, he went with the belief that his house is already sold, right? FTBA, like he already had it. And because of that, what happened when he met me at the airport, he actually said he's just coming and from Hyderabad. He's at the airport with me right now, going towards Pune, just like me. I think he was going to Goa, saying that his house was sold. Successfully, the deal happened. What didn't happen for months in the past happened in a couple of weeks now. How? Because Vasant is also made of energy. His house is also made of energy. People around him who wanted to buy the house are also made of energy. When he started vibrating at the right thoughts, the right feelings, the right actions, what happened? People who were serious about buying a house got attracted to him, and he got the house being sold, right? So I'm sure you want something in your life. Use thought frequency now, right now, to start attracting that in your life right now by using affirmations. Okay? I'm going to do a detailed video in a few days, maybe in a week or two again, on affirmations. How do you create the right affirmations? I'll give you loads and loads of ready-made affirmations as well. I'll give you like a bank of affirmations in the next video. But right now, I want you to create your own. Now, why people might be asking, probably you'll ask me that, why am I not giving you ready affirmations right now? Because then you will stop thinking. I want you to be a creator. I want you to be an inventor of your own affirmations, of your own thoughts. Okay? Then as you start practicing, I'll give you more ready-made thoughts, which in the next video will help you to become even better at creating thoughts. Okay? So take care, guys, and keep thinking positive. Be a water personality. Don't be a fire personality. Remember this water, the matchstick is already gone. Just remember that. Every person who throws negativity at you, every situation who throws negativity at you, take control of your thoughts. Okay? Bye, guys. Take care.